Bukhara. The history of their roots runs deep. Their name comes from the former Central Asian Emirate of Bukhara, which once had a sizable Jewish community. Bukharian Jews speak Bukhari as their primary language, a Tajiki Persian language mixed with Hebrew words. But they also speak Russian, since the area was Russified after the communist regime. One tradition traces their origins to the exile of the 10 tribes by the Assyrians at the time of the Navi Hosea in the 7th century BCE, specifically to the tribes of Naphtali and Yisachar. More modern sources trace their origins to the time of Cyrus, who conquered Bavel in 539 BCE and encouraged settlement throughout the Persian Empire. This group, through natural migrations over time, settled in the Bukhara area of Central Asia. This makes them one of the oldest surviving Jewish ethno-religious cultures. But they didn't just survive, they have thrived over the millennia in spite of being largely isolated from the rest of the Jewish world. Moreover, they have been a distinct minority in a region that has been buffeted by constant political and religious turmoil, starting with Alexander the Great in 331 BCE and ending in modern fundamental Islamic terrorism. In spite of the varying degrees of economic, religious, and physical oppression, they have persevered both religiously and financially. This is a testament to the incredible resilience of these people. More recently, with the collapse of the Soviet Union and the rise of Islamic fundamentalism, Bukharian Jews have been forced to leave their Central Asian home of over 2,500 years forever. There are almost no Bukharian Jews left in Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and the associated regions. They have largely settled in Eretz Yisrael, where there are over 100,000 Bukharian Jews. In the United States, where there are over 70,000, including 50,000 in Queens, New York, and much smaller numbers in cities around the world. Interestingly, the third largest group of Bukharian Jews in a single city is right here in the GTA, with a growing population of over 1,500 individuals in 350 families. The story of the Toronto Bukharian Jewish community is both amazing and inspiring, mirroring in some ways what happened to European Jews who arrived here after the war. This is the incredible story of the Bukharian Jewish community in Toronto. In 1990, Bukharian Jews started arriving in Toronto. They were only about 15 families, scattered and disorganized and facing a strong threat of assimilation. As the community grew with continued immigration, it became stronger. By 1998, a small group of leaders decided that steps needed to be urgently taken to preserve Bukharian traditions, culture, and language. They created the Center of Bukharian Jews, under the tutelage of the Jewish Russian Community Center. Only 5 years later, the community had grown to about 150 families, and although they organized some community events, religious observance was almost non-existent. They realized they needed a spiritual leader, a Bukharian rabbi. 2003 was a watershed year. In May, they officially established their own non-profit organization, and the Jewish Bukharian Center of Toronto was established. Rav Elyashiv contacted Rav Avram Kahn, and together they went to seek advice from Rav Aaron Leib Steinman Zatzal. Rav Steinman said, "We may not allow an entire Shevet of Klal Yisrael to be lost. You must get involved." With the aid of Shari Tzion and Rabbi Kahn, Rav Yaakov Malyev came to serve as the community rabbi, and space was rented for a shul in the Sephardic Kehillah Center. With their own rabbi and shul, the religious life of the Bukharian community literally took off. With the arrival of Rav Malyev, a preschool daycare was also established to cater to the young families. He organized a tremendously successful series of weekend seminars and Shabbatons in association with Arachin and Hitabrut. In order to follow up after the seminars, many lectures and classes were given in English, Hebrew, and Russian for different ages, and as a result, religious observance in the community started to flourish year after year, especially in the young and middle-aged families. More recently, as the community has continued to develop, a kollel has been established to service the needs of the more advanced students. Since many Bukharian families began settling in the Thornhill Woods area north of Toronto, a northern minyan was established in Rav Malyev's home at 144 Birch Avenue. Moreover, with the generous support of the Jakubowicz and Cohn families, the Menachem Tzvi Jakubowicz Learning Center was established. As a testament to its success, hundreds and hundreds have participated in after-school youth programs for teenagers, various young adult sessions, and special events for adults and couples. Over 360 women attended regular Rosh Chodesh programming, and every month, no less than 70 women attend the monthly challah baking event. By 2012, it was obvious that the community now required a second rabbi to help lead the original minyan at the Kehillah Center and to deal with the teenage and young adult population. In 2012, Rabbi Israel Yakubov, one of Rav Malyev's first students from Toronto, who had gone on to study in yeshivos in America and Israel, returned to his home community in a leadership role. Since his arrival, he has started giving many shiurim in Hebrew, English, and Russian, as well as establishing, with Rabbi Malyev and Kahn, a daily morning kollel minyan. Rabbi Yakubov is now in the advanced stages of opening a daily after-school teen club. There is incredible energy in the Bukharian community, reflected in their tremendous increases in both Gashmius and Ruchnius. 200 children now attend Jewish day school, and Rav Malyev estimates that between 70 and 100 families are now Shomer Torah u'mitzvos. This is a testament to the energy of Rav Malyev and Shari Tzion and a tribute to the spiritual strength of this outstanding community. However, with this success, the Bukharian community faces a new problem. They need a home of their own. The Malyev home only provides very limited space, and community events often attract upwards of 300 people. In January 2016, construction began on the new Bukharian Jewish Center of Toronto at Bathurst and Rutherford, together with the country shul. This new center will house 2 shuls, a social hall, classrooms, and a mikveh. The first floor will house the country shul, who will continue their outreach efforts focused on the thousands of unaffiliated Jews in Richmond Hill, and will continue to operate a standard Ashkenaz Kehillah. On the second floor, the Bukharian community will have, at last, their own Beit Knesset. Since the Bukharian davening is based on the Sephardi Nusach, Kafkazim, Israelis, Sephardim, and many others have been drawn to these services. The new social hall will host their simchas and community events, which will also attract the less affiliated members of the community and create greater cohesiveness and growth. Once completed, the center will permanently house the Menachem Tzvi Jakubowicz Learning Center, currently on Birch Avenue, and the morning kollel that is currently in the Kehillah Center. The hidden jewel in the crown will be the center's mikveh. Beyond being beautifully designed and planned to service the hundreds of families without a mikveh in that area, it also houses Toronto's only fully wheelchair-accessible mikveh. The new center will be a true Makom Torah and will not only be a magnet for the Bukharian community, but will galvanize the entire Jewish community in Richmond Hill. Our Rabbanim have heartily endorsed this important project.